Yo， 歡迎大家嚟到今日嘅 Bloop。 What's up, Alex?
Well, hello Marcus, and welcome to our show. Thanks for watching again. 今日我哋嘅 intro 咧，我想分享少少個 main question 就係點樣去use 點樣去enjoy podcast 呢個 format。咁首先我問你啦 ，Marcus， 你自己有冇呢個習慣，同埋你自己會幾時會聽，同埋用咩方法去聽呢？
我就想再推前少少，咁由細到大，當 podcast 呢個字都未出現嘅時候呢，我係好中意聽收音機嘅。咁當去到大個咗之後呢，佢哋有一樣嘢叫做 archive。咁 archive 係點呢？就係譬如一個節目啦，佢會將佢啲廣告 cut 晒，淨係將佢個節目留翻喺度，咁你就可以叫翻聽，即係你唔使現場聽啦。咁我就好中意聽903嘅電台節目嘅，所以我就會可能一個節目我當森美小儀咁樣啦，早霸王個半鐘，我係會聽足咁多集 for the past 10幾年咁樣嘅。咁呢個就係我去第一次接觸一種長 format 嘅audio， 即係一個聽嘅。
你幾時有呢個習慣？
中學已經有啦，中學去大學我都係有聽晒呢啲。咁嗰個 podcast 出現之前已經有呢個叫做 archive 嘅呢件事 for 收音機咯。
Just curious， 嗰陣時你點樣？你用上電腦咁樣聽？
係啊，電腦。
So you were at home then, right?
Yeah。
咁即係你做緊功課嘅時候就聽緊。
冇錯啦。
你點樣做功課嚟聽？
我係呃到 Aki 噶嘛。當我畫嘢嘅時候咧，我個腦係可以 process 字嘅。如果我係要打字咧，如果我寫 paper 咧，我就唔可以聽啦。其實我唔可以兩樣一齊 process， 但係畫嘢係 OK 嘅。
That's where I want to riff off。即係今集咧，其實我係想分享，因為podcast for 依家香港人咧 ，I think it's still quite new， 即係唔係好多人有呢個習慣啦。But 我就想分享我自己就好似你咁樣嘅，我會揾啲 activity 咧，就係可以分心到，或者即係做一樣嘢 ，but at the same time 可以do something else， 例如揸車啦、行街啦、shopping 啦、做運動啊、踩單車。These are the main ones. But whenever I'm in these modes, I always throw on like some podcast or another, and I feel like 我咁樣可以吸收到好多 information。我覺得依家呢個世界 information is so 好公開㗎嘛。
而家好多 content， 咁
overload
係 overload 嘅。咁其實你就冇可能聽得晒所有㗎啦，基本上。但係你反而咧好多機會去學一啲可能你平時可能好難學到嘅嘢咯。即係 for example， 你可能你聽一個 podcast 係講車嘅，咁可能真係以前真係要可能去 library 借本書啊，去做 research 去睇。而家所有嘢都可以，你喺同一個時間做到好多唔同嘅嘢咯。
So in many ways， 我覺得依家係如果你想學一樣嘢咧，其實你係冇藉口嘅。If you really want to do it, there's so many ways to learn or get that information. So I think it's really exciting when you look at it in that perspective. But 即係都係點解又要少少 hard sell plug 下呢一個話題咧？就係我覺得有幾個唔同嘅方法可以去enjoy 我哋嘅 show 啦。
冇錯，又啱嘅。嗱呢件事咧我都好同意，因為而家我哋喺 YouTube 啦，咁如果你冇 join premium 嘅話咧，其實你基本上一定要開住嗰個電話先至聽到噶嘛。
sorry，but 我插你。I'm a hardcore advocate. I'm not even 我依家都唔喺度幫 YouTube 落廣告啦。but 我真係覺得 YouTube premium 係一個好值得去 invest 嘅錢，因為真係唔係好多錢嘅，一個月好似60蚊咁樣。And you have the greatest feature is you can turn off the phone and the sound will still play。And YouTube is the universe in many ways. It's the biggest accessible encyclopedia of all information. So anyway, YouTube 應該快啲將呢個 video 再推告啲，因為我已經幫你，我已經 big up 咗你啦。
免費廣告係。
But 係啦，即係依個啦，同埋可以聽我哋嘅 show 就 YouTube 啦睇啦或者聽啦。If you get the premium， but 嚟緊我哋都依家咧好開心，因為嚟緊我哋 backtrack 好多嗰啲previous 嘅 show， 我哋依家就會掉上Spotify 嘅。
OK。
我哋要將每一集嘅聲 and 處理啲少少嘅相啊 stuff like that。But eventually we're hoping to get every episode。依家第53，
今日係53應該係。
Wow。
Something like that, yeah.
Dude。 53 episodes. Every 拍手。
要拍手掌啊！好犀利，係。
But I'm very happy, Marcus. I feel like in our 53 episodes, 我見到你有進步，我見到 Henry 有進步。我覺得幫到我咧，就係依家可能我出去做啲 job 咧，係可能講嘢嗰啲 job 咧 ，I think I'm better than before. Yeah.
因為做咗呢個 show 之後。
Yes. I even feel confident now. 即係我去到，
即係你以前係好淆底嘅。
以前 it's a sharp learning curve.
Right.
即係由你做新人，你要去宣傳自己啲乜嘢。And 要喺啲已經好 established 有節奏嘅節目，突然之間要插入去 and 要 match 到個 level 咧，頭幾年係真係好難嘅。It's hard. I think it's hard for everybody. I think there's some people who are natural at it. I think in many ways, some people have like a lot of tricks and stuff, but it's hard. But I think I'm really happy. 我自己好 grateful， 因為我哋做咗50幾集之後。I think 我依家開始對於呢一個talk 嘅藝術咧，有多少少嘅研究啦。
即係希望有一日咧，有人會請 Alex 唔係唱歌，唔係跳舞，唔係做戲。Alex 你做 MC 不如咁就正啦。
But I'm actually the happiest is that 我對依家好多唔同嘅 talk show 咧係 appreciate 到佢哋依家做緊啲乜嘢。And I realize like being a talk show host is quite an art form。Like 我有睇翻，我可能我中意英國嗰啲咯，即係 Jonathan Ross、Graham Norton， 呢兩個係最叻啦。They really when you hear them host a show, it's like wow, they're like masters. They're like they know how to get everybody on the same plane and even 即係呢個美國，呢個係英國，呢個法國人，但係 somehow 佢哋個有，即係我覺得係一種幾犀利嘅。
即係 Graham Norton 我都睇好多佢哋 clips 啊，但係佢哋應該做咗好多功課，即係喺每一個嘉賓上嚟之前咧，佢根本上已經係編排晒有個編劇去諗下你講呢個故事，呢個人應該點樣 respond 佢嘅故事，所以好精彩嘅。因為佢哋已經論晒所有嘢。咁當然而家我哋呢個都比較 organic 發生啦，即係自然傾下。其實有時又會有啲嘢唔係咁計劃中啦，但係可能有啲好多嘢反而係更加真實、更加有趣。
But on that note, that's why I really appreciate now, like 好似好多唔同嘅美國嗰啲人有好多唔同嘅 style 嘅 podcast because there's one for every audience. Like 你係中意 polish 啲嘅，你中意好 raw 嘅，其實你依家可以揀咯。And like I think it's slowly changing and like there's a lot of entertainment and a lot of craft that goes into it. And but anyway 喺度呢度都有一個幾好嘅 moment 可以 tag 我哋嚟緊呢個 guest 出嚟啦，因為this world, like, you know, the changing world, the podcast is always changing. And there's one person that I've always admired because 佢就，我覺得喺我心目中咧，佢係一個好聰明嘅人。And 佢一將佢個 brain power 放喺 one topic or another 咧，佢係好似會好 excel 到嘅。So 之前就好欣賞佢喺音樂嗰度 excel 到好勁啦。But now he's, you know, 佢又喺好多唔同fitness 有 excel，and then now in the digital world 有
我會形容呢種係天才兒童咯，即係佢學咩嘢咧，都好快就會 get 到嗰樣嘢。
Genius. So let's bring out our guest today and pick his brain. I think we're going to learn a lot. So hope you guys enjoy. We're going to bring out Hanjin. And so thank you, Hanjin, for coming on to our show.
I'm so happy to be here.
We're
Cheers.
very happy to have you here.
Thank you for having the beer ready.
So this is Marcus, who you guys met earlier, and our show we start off with a little like icebreaker. It's called Know Yourself.
好，来吧。
So you're gonna help us choose one card, and then you're gonna help us answer that question.
好吧。
Let me shuffle for you.
不用吧。
No? Okay.
Okay,
There you go. This one. How about this one?
Okay. 哇，呢個 interesting 啊 ！What does this make you think of？
What？
咁咧呢個有幅 graphic 喺度嘅，我俾觀眾睇下先。咁我之後可能再
Maybe close up。
要 close up 俾佢啦。
OK。我見到兩個男人。
見到兩個男人。
係啊。完。
What does this make you think of?
Oh, okay. Someone some guy could think of it as a vagina,
Yeah, I can see that.
right? But I saw 兩個男人 to begin with.
你男人嘅頭係咪呢個喺邊度咧？
Here, right?
Yeah, 呢兩個
okay.
yeah.
I can see that too.
What can you see, Alex？
呢個你可唔可以 quick zoom 下？哦，你拉過去啊！
人肉 zoom 啊
人哋啫
好老踢㗎，跟住要即刻 manual focus。
我哋可以影張相嘅。
你見到啲咩？
So I recently saw that movie called Dune.
Yeah,
did you
yeah,
see
yeah. Part
Dune?
1, right?
Yeah.
Part 1.
For some reason now, okay, so after I watched Dune, I went on a crazy Dune YouTube like
Research.
binge, and then 你哋怕唔怕 spoil 下㗎？
我
睇咗
睇咗啦。
我睇咗，但即係成個 Dune 呢個
Oh, the
story
Sting
嘅
one?
之
Yeah,
後，
yeah, yeah.
我有講啦，因為都有㗎。So Dune 咧第一集咧之後they'll have a son, Paul will have a son, and then that son he merges himself with a sandworm.
即係好乸大碌嗰個。
Yeah.
所以你
巴
你
士
你睇完
咁大碌嗰個
呢件事，你諗到嗰個
Yeah, and it looks like that to me. It looks like a human and the sandworm. So like there's a picture somewhere like of like 有人 illustrate 咗呢個佢個仔叫都好似佢爸爸叫 Leto 咁樣嘅，and then 佢好似就將佢自己嘅 DNA so he's a giant sandworm but with a human head.
好難想像，即係佢成身係即係巴士咁長，但係個頭係個人嚟嘅。
You know, so
個
like
頭係好細定好大㗎？
so you know like Star Wars 咧，咪有個角色叫 Jabba the Hutt，你有冇印象啊？成個即係嗰個 worm 嗰個人咧。
冇就冇啦。係啦。
So it's like Jabba the Hutt with a human head. Yeah, that's what I see.
OK，我覺得好似嗰啲中咗 Covid 嗰啲肺咁咯，啲 X-ray
Ouch.
黑晒嗰啲咁樣。
Ouch.
Yeah，哇！呢個 opening 係
Okay. Interesting.
interesting 嘅。咁不過我哋可以講下，我知道今日有幾樣嘢想講嘅。
Yes.
咁我哋可以由
So okay, so yes, I mainly for me I'm a big I like to geek out on your music side. I wanted to ask you, like, when you were growing up, like, how did music come into your life? And when you were little, what kind of music were you listening to? Because, okay, 我對你嘅音樂嘅認識咧 is like you're very diverse. Like, you can do English music, Chinese music, jazz, hip hop. Like, there's so many different genres, and every genre you have a really, like a really solid grasp on that. And I just wanted to know more about your music beginnings and how that journey kind of started for you.
I started in primary school, I think. 咁應該用英文定係普通話？
你自己舒服就得㗎啦。
好啦。
We can switch like me.
Okay.
I go back and forth. So.
咁咧，咁就小學嗰陣時有成績表㗎嘛。咁個老師就係我嘅主任老師，就係我嘅 choir 老師。咁佢就寫個 comment 通常會寫佢科唔好啊，數學好掂啊，佢應該 focus 多啲科學。我嗰個就寫 Hanjin loves to sing but doesn't have a good voice。
What？
小
小學嘅時候咁 mean 嘅你啲老師
I think she was trying to be kind.
，be kind 啊已經。
Yeah. So like that's how I started. 咁跟住我就我記得小六嗰陣時，我迷上合唱團，因為我哋嗰間學校咧係即係有小學有中學有 ，it's kind of like DBS or like LaSalle or something. Like there's like a lineage. 咁咧中學嘅合唱團就嚟表演，跟住我就覺得好正喎！佢哋唔使伴奏就可以做到自己嘅和弦啦。咁我覺得我想加入合唱團。So like my first love with music was really 合唱團。咁跟住當然我嗰陣時因為游好多水啊，咁游水嘅時候我成日I just sing to myself。所以嗰日咧 on the way to training 嘅時候聽 Phil Collins， 我嗰日嘅 training 就係咁 Phil Collins 噶啦。
你游緊水點唱？
因為有節奏噶嘛，咁啊舒服好多噶。
點游緊水點樣唱歌我都覺得
Interesting.
I mean, you do have to understand that 游水 is a very boring sport.
It's a very repetitive sport for sure.
Yeah.
You got to be like you have to have a strong like mental concentration, I think.
好啦，無論你哋點諗都好，我只係 somehow when I train 就係我會自己 sing to myself。
OK。
咁就變成我會好熟悉某啲歌，depending on what was playing on the radio in the day。咁新加坡成日都係播英文歌噶嘛，所以我係熟悉英文歌多啲嘅，唔係好闊嘅，just top 40 stuff。咁咧中學就合唱團啦，咁跟住高中又繼續合唱團啦。咁啱得咁巧，我間學校嘅高中嘅合唱團就係新加坡 number one 個合唱團，而個 choral director 咧係佢嘅網絡好廣闊嘅，所以咧 instead of揾 local 嘅大師嚟幫我哋做 master class， 佢會揾佢自己國際級嘅大師嚟幫我哋做 master class 嘅。Every time 佢哋 come through 個 region 嘅時候
What a great thing.
Yeah, it was fantastic。所以我嘅聲樂嘅底子係嚟自於佢嘅底子，就係文藝復興choral music, Renaissance choral music.
So just curious, what kind of is it music theory that you learn when you're meeting those teachers? Like what kind of training was
both,
it like?
But it's very very geared towards choral music. I was lucky， 因為我 parents 佢逼我游水嘅同時一定要學鋼琴。They bought a lousy piano to begin with， 跟住之後 bought a better piano, kind of like this one, Yamaha, I remember。我就去ABRSM Royal Schools 考試咯，報名。咁啱得咁巧，我嘅鄰居係善麗，我哋住 HDB flat 噶嘛，跟住斜對面嗰間 flat 嘅就係一個鋼琴老師 ，so that's where I began， 係啦。But of course， 因為佢搬走咗，跟住嚟咗另外一個老師 in our block，which was like 好似隔一層樓，我唔記得幾多，跟住。He was much more strict。跟住學到某個位啦，I think it was grade 7。跟住佢就同我講：你同音樂冇緣分啦，你唔好再學音樂噶啦 ，you should stop。咁我同媽媽講嘅時候，媽媽好嬲，但係佢亦都冇阻止我停止，so I just stopped。因為我嘅 sight reading 好差。But with with singing， 因為我好沉迷 singing 啦，咁我嘅 sight singing 又係 OK。It's not good， 但係 OK。
Interesting. So you stopped at grade 7 music or
鋼琴
oh just piano, but you were still singing.
I was still singing.
其實真係好細個啫喎，點解啲老師全部都咁直接佢講呢啲對白嘅？
Well, to be fair， 每一個老師咧，每一日有幾十個學生，咁咧佢每一日咧都要面對呢個，搞到佢哇！你唔係啊嘛？呢個死男仔，每一年學3隻歌，學極都學唔識，跟住。我又唔可以教佢多啲歌。It's simple. It's because sight reading 差嘅時候就會導致呢個問題啊嘛。And I learn by memory. I learn by muscle memory. 所以早期嘅時候咧 when 啲 pieces 未咁複雜嘅時候，就可以靠死學，跟住就考翻好成績。但係之後就冇咁簡單啦。
I see. So then after you stopped, but you were still singing, can you guide us on how music became like a profession for you？
咁咧，我高中嘅時候咧就睇 MTV 睇得多，覺得做音樂好似好勁咁啊。咁跟住就想做rock band 啦。細個嗰陣時中意Guns N' Roses 啊，之後中意 Red Hot Chili Peppers 啊，跟住 U2 啊，跟住覺得好想做三人組啦。咁組極都組唔掂啦。大學就組到一個3人組嘅 ，and we won all the collegiate contests。但係當然collegiate contest 其實你贏嘅獎品就係1支威士忌，同埋我記得最勁嗰個有1000蚊波子㗎，即係港紙6000蚊㗎，跟住我哋評分㗎，哇好爽㗎！咁 anyway，that didn't last very long。咁卒之我哋3個咧都係入 jazz band 嘅，咁之後就一路彈 jazz band 咯。即係新加坡國立大學嘅 jazz band。咁我就個人因為好中意 rock music 啦，嗰陣時就學咗嗰陣時就係 Nirvana 同埋 Pearl Jam， 學咗佢哋成個2隻碟嘅歌，跟住加埋我自己中意嘅某啲歌啦，即係嗰啲好老餅嘅歌，跟住就去酒吧度 audition， 跟住認真咗好多之後就終於中咗一個，跟住喺度唱，跟住有一個去第二個。And when I went to university 就有一間 cafe， 咁佢就請我做佢哋嘅駐唱。咁我就唱足我成個 university career 咯。
I see. So were you was like from that time music was it your top priority？
係啊，我真係冇照過塊鏡㗎，真係覺得自己有機會做到 rockstar 㗎。跟住就只要你啲音樂做得好啦，跟住啲人就會簽你，跟住你畢業咗之後咧，你就有機會簽公司，跟住做 rockstar 㗎啦。But of course the truth is that couldn't be further from the truth。係啦，
但你都贏㗎嘛，即係你都參加比賽，你都贏㗎嘛，你都贏過。
哦，我所有嘢都贏㗎，我嘅頭髮係長到呢度㗎，係 dreadlocks 嚟㗎。咁跟住我大黑超㗎，好似你咁啊。咁跟住就我記得有一次school trip， 跟住我朝頭早諗住去游個水先，跟住翻上嚟 join 大家食 lunch。跟住咧食 lunch 嘅時候咧，就有一個話題，喂，頭先你有冇見到係一個好臭好肥嘅女人喺個泳池度？哇 topless 游水喎，有冇見到啊？係啊，咁我就知道死啦。咁之後我就剪晒頭髮啦，係啊。But it's the rocker dream never died， 係一種 blind obsession， 覺得 I have a chance，but like I don't look close to good as you， 所以咧that blind obsession kind of lasted until I was I think 20 into my late 20s.
Oh man, I still have that dream, man.
唔係啊嘛
Yeah.
Then we should definitely form a band.
My dream is just to be like that, long hair, no t-shirt, like super tight leather pants on a stage, just like screaming.
邊個 Anthony Kiedis 啊
Yeah, like Red Hot Chili Peppers,
咁
or
啊
like all the like the metal bands, just like, cause like when I was young and 我睇呢啲 MTV 啦 like it looks 真係好正 It's like just like 一個 it's like a perfection of just like freedom and just confidence. I feel I really fell in love with that 嗰個畫面咯。到今時今日我都仲係，如果有機會可以實現到呢一個 performance 咧，like every time when I go on stage and perform, I try to like channel that kind of like that 嗰種精神同埋開心啦。It's just like let me just enjoy. It's like I don't care if I'm singing bad or anything. I just want to, you know, like I still have that kind of that fantasy.
即係哪怕你係唱緊寶貝，我真係好掛住你。即係你手揸咪唔會咁樣揸咯，你只會咁揸，寶貝，我真係好掛住你。
Just that enjoyment.
Oh, if that's the case, right? And your dream is not dead, let's form a band.
You heard it here. See us next time when we perform somewhere.
Yeah, 跟住佢就長頭髮，我諗就冇人發㗎啦。但係咧剝晒衫咯，
整個假髮
係啦，剝晒衫咯，跟住揸住支咪咯，唱完之後就掉咯。咁跟住我就負責彈吉他嘅，跟住我揾一個打鼓嘅人咪得咯。
Let's do it. Let's do it.
係咯
Let's do it.
好，我哋轉頭翻嚟繼續傾。
So it was during this time you learned how to play the guitar.
Oh yes， 我阿媽咧有一個 classical guitar， 係跟住咧，因為佢彈下彈下唔想學㗎啦，跟住我攞嚟學晒啲 rock song 咯，係啦。咁跟住之後咧，我仲記得我入酒吧嗰陣時咧，我係因為唔係我自己彈㗎嘛，有3場㗎嘛，嗰度借其他人嘅吉他嚟彈嘅，直到賺夠錢，我買咗第二支吉他。第一支自己嘅吉他。
Do you remember what it was?
It's a Gibson Chet Atkins， 我應該仲喺度嘅 somewhere。
Oh wow, that's a very special type of guitar too, like the hollow body one.
唔係 Gibson Chet Atkins 係一個實心嘅electric acoustic。係啦。
Okay.
係啦。
Oh cool。
咁新加坡嘅，因為我從來都冇乜點聽新加坡樂壇嘅，即係你叫我 name 一個而家嘅新加坡嘅歌手，我 name 唔到喎。
Dick Lee 啊。
嚇？
Dick Lee
係我都 name 唔到啦，可能你哋會 name 到，但係新加坡好似個 entertainment
孫燕姿啊，
比較
林俊傑啊，
全部都係離開咗噶嘛。新加坡好多都係，即係好似喺新加坡本土發展。
Most of them, like the cream of the crop, right? Or maybe the ones who can travel around Asia, they usually go outside of Singapore.
國語市場。
But I mean， 我有一年有喺新加坡住過3個月啦。They have a really strong live music culture. Like there's a lot of bands that play at different bars like regularly, and 嗰啲 bar 咧係 they're packed full. Like 有一個 culture 咧係啲人會寧願去一個 yeah，and it's great， 好開心嘅。and 佢哋又more diverse. I mean， diverse in the way like 即係佢有英文歌、舊歌、新歌、中文歌，maybe Malaysian songs too, and like all the cultures are all mixed together. So it's a pretty cool like music environment, I think. Quite a really good musicianship. 即係我去過幾個，即係見過啲人彈咧係真係好勁嘅。But they really have 嗰個，我覺得依家越嚟越少見嗰種 performance and live music 嘅 talent 咯。Like those people probably been playing in live music venues for 20 plus years maybe, right? So they really have that kind of like technique 喺度。依家香港好似好少有依種嘅 musicianship。I mean, the world has changed. I think musicians now, they learn how to playing online, right? But like in our generation, like, you know, you had to go to those acoustic nights, right? Do the singer-songwriter nights, open mic nights. 即係一條友一支吉他，you know, the song I wrote, and then 可能嗰個 session 完咗，一班人上嚟 jam. But now the young kids, I think they're just like 開個you know, make a YouTube video, covers. So I think it's really different.
咁好明顯嘅，你咁樣做你就直接可以如果你 go viral 嘅話once you hit like couple 100,000 或者甚至1 million viewers subscribers 嘅時候，或者 viewership 嘅時候，你就會有唱片公司敲你門噶嘛。咁如果你用經過酒吧嘅模式，咁係隔多幾重。So why not do on YouTube? It just makes sense.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, like, in your journey with learning the guitar and everything, because like you're an awesome musician. Like 你細個嗰陣時，你帶住一個點樣嘅 discipline or 方法去研究 music, and how did those doors open for you? Do you remember how you learned and how you pushed yourself?
It's actually quite simple. 你即係我 picked up the guitar， 跟住我 figured out like 我有幾條路可以行。I wanna be， 但係我一開始我就中意 YouTube， so like play as few notes as possible, you know。咁John Frusciante is not exactly a virtuoso， 但係如果你係嗰個年代 and you happen to love like guitar god bands， 咁你就好棘手咯。Do you want to be a lead guitar player？ 咁for me it was very obvious. I love Tuck and Patty. So I love Tuck Andrews, I love The Edge, so I love whole few notes, I love digital delay, and I do love like Jimi Hendrix, and 所以我就揾一個啱我自己嘅方法去學吉他 and I seem to be better at doing rhythmic guitar than doing lead lines. So I just play very few lines and work a lot on my rhythms. 咁我就變成一個咁樣嘅一個吉他手咯。咁唱歌又係嘅。咁好細個嗰陣時就 just like any other kid sing as high as you can, right？ 係啦。But 我天生係一個男中低音嚟嘅。It doesn't make sense to try to sing as high as you can。咁近幾年我就近5至10年啦，我就好 come to terms with 嗰件事 and like I don't want to hurt myself anymore。咁咪就work on my lower register and get the complete range。咁但係其實講真，the real pain is 因為冇人肯幫我，冇人簽你嘅時候，你就要自己做你自己嘅 record。咁嗰個20年前就係你冇 record 咧，冇人會聽到你。而家就係你上唔到 YouTube 就冇人聽到你。咁就所以我就因為咁我就 push 自己要學編曲啊，學錄音啊，係啦。跟住I got some 中上 lucky breaks。幫一間日本公司做 production assistant， 咁我就 brush up。That
was in Singapore though？
Singapore 嘅日本公司，因此我亦都有機會去日本個 main branch 嗰度做下學嘢，跟住住喺 company apartment， 係啦。跟住咁啱我細個嗰陣時，因為好迷日文，所以我公司亦都好肯俾我去。But I didn't really learn very much other than the fact that other than politics。係啊
，the music industry politics。
唔係啊 ，general politics 就係你下下都要，我好尊敬你啊，我好驚你啊，你講咩我都會做啊，我唔會違背你嘅意思㗎，係啊。
尤其是日本添啦，呢個 culture 就係。
尤其是係日本 as 一個外人咯。
Yeah。
咁無論你日文幾好，都冇質素㗎。最好就係日文唔好添。人哋就會cut you some slack。 如果你日文好嘅話，佢哋就當你係 local 咁樣即係要 insist 你要跟佢哋嗰啲 rules 咯。
我有聽過好奇怪嘅，我有個朋友係去美國讀書啦，日本人，佢因為英文好咧，反而係俾人再歧視多啲嘅。
Bingo，
係啊，即係你唔識咧，反而就好啲嘅喎。你識咧，佢又好似又唔中意你識人英文咁樣嘅喎。
Bingo，所以近10幾年咧，我有個 theory 咧，語文係唔重要噶，intention 係最重要噶。你溝通嘅嗰個 content 咧，你好清楚、好簡單咁表達咧，係 powerful 過你去學識對方嘅語文。因為我真係識一啲人唔識日文，就喺日本咧溝通得好好噶。亦都可以好識好多人咧唔識I don't know French 喺法國溝通得好好噶。所以it doesn't matter.
Yeah, keeping it simple, I think that's an important thing to remind ourselves always, right?
係啊，因為兩個原因啦，一就係difficult concepts are actually very difficult to understand。二就係咧，most people don't like difficult concepts。如果你揾到中意 difficult concept 嘅人咧，通常佢哋 they are not doers。They are just academics. So try not to deal with difficult concepts. Try to 用最簡單嘅 concept 去呈現你自己諗緊乜嘢咯。
呢個我會解釋為點解 Squid Game 咁紅嘅原因咯。
點解啊？關咩事啊？
因為 Squid Game 簡單咯。
佢有幾簡單，係一個好複雜嘅電視劇嚟㗎。
唔係你 compare to 譬如 let's say Alice in the Borderland 啊，或者 compare to 其他劇集，佢雖然都係嗰種 survivor 嗰種模式，但係其實佢係偏向簡單嘅。They're playing like kids games。即係a tug of war， 邊個掹到就贏咁樣嘅啫。It's not a lot of like 好 complicated 嘅計算喺裏邊。
Oh my friend， 你真係俾人呃咗啦。
係咩
？Squid Game is a very complicated game。佢其實係 modern day Cannonball Run 啊嘛。即係意思就係係
我未睇
係人命生命係其實係好賤嘅。
唔係呢？我背後嘅理念，我覺得係聰明嘅，但係佢呈現出嚟咧，係好多人一睇就知發生緊咩事咯。
嗱，我會 translate as 佢用嗰個呈現嘅方法咧係好 familiar。所以即係咧李思松、李偉松咧係我嗰個年代，我出道嗰陣時咧，就係睇住佢哋好仰慕佢哋，因為佢哋好識得做 +1。Not +3, not +4。陳奐仁嘅問題就係 he's always like plus more than 1。咁啲人就聽唔明佢想做咩。亦都唔會好多人請佢嚟做嘢，所以永遠都唔夠李思松、李偉松咁紅咯。因為佢哋識得啱啱好 +1，no more。咁Squid Game 成功之後，因為佢係 +1。咁I think for 好多好聰明咧、好俾心機嘅藝術人咧，有一個 message 就係我加 Alex 加 Marcus 喺度咧，向你致敬。跟住咧，亦都好 respect 你堅持自己嘅夢想，但係咧 we want you to succeed as well。所以咧，你盡量啦，將你嘅 +5 咧變成 +1，你就會可以生活得好啲。跟住咧，之後咧條路咧會行得順啲，分分鐘咧你嘅大夢想，每個人都有個大夢想噶嘛。即係可能你想拍你嘅 Star Wars， 或者你想唱你嘅 Bohemian Rhapsody。咁 that dream will be easier to achieve。當你搞掂咗，你交租供小朋友返學，同埋幫老朋友買到幫女朋友或者老婆買到個 Birkin 咯。
Yeah，
係咪咁意思啊？
Well, one way back to the simplicity thing, how I look at it, it was like if you
你越坐越低喎，哥哥。
If people if someone who can take a very complicated concept but explain it very simply, then that means that person really understands that.
4個字解釋完，深入淺出啊嘛。即係能夠用最少嘅字眼將一個好複雜嘅解釋俾人聽，呢個就係個能力喺度。
好，咁我深入淺出啦。做音樂嘥時間㗎，改行啊。
Oh man, yeah. I mean, yeah, maybe. I'm starting to feel that.
因為咧，我
Interesting topic. Thank you for this topic.
係啊
Let's get into it.
我4個月前咧，同一個大拍賣行嘅2個大拍賣行嘅 高層啦傾偈，跟住佢哋咧傾下偈就當我係 friend，跟住就好誠實同我講開門見山。陳奐仁啊，如果你同 Murakami 啦做一個講緊 NFT 啊嘛，如果你同Murakami 做一個 audio visual 嘅 work 咧，跟住我哋拍賣做 auction 啦，我哋 value 咧係完全 Murakami 嘅，你嘅 music 咧只係 BGM 嘅就係 no value 㗎。
Yeah, music. Okay, yeah. We were talking about this earlier. Like music, the value of music today is so low.
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero.
So
咁生日錢出啊 ？Zero. Z
Damn.
E R
好盡添啊呢個。
O.
Damn. Okay.
Like 10 shots.
Yeah.
喂，飲杯酒先啦，cheers cheers
It's
cheers。
like 10. Okay, we're back.
Cheers, we're back。
So we were just talking about
How
alcohol.
beautiful your
Alcohol,
glasses.
Really. We're talking about alcohol, really. Oh, which one? Which one? The copper?
The one
copper?
that I'm having.
Ah, yeah.
This
Cheers.
one. This is a gorgeous glass.
Cheers.
Okay, I'm gonna finish it then.
Sure, let's down it.
You'll hold on.
No, don't down it. Don't
Okay,
down it.
okay.
Take your time. Take your time. I'm not.
Dude, so okay, we were talking about alcohol, but before that, we were talking about the death of music.
The death of music.
Is music dead?
Music is not dead, but the price of music is dead. Raoul Pal explains it very clearly, and by saying that streaming solved the problem of piracy, but it created a new problem. The new problem is music is free. Free in the sense that if you subscribe, okay, let's start with if you don't subscribe, 你廣告商幫你俾緊錢，你只要你唔介意每30分鐘聽一轉廣告嘅話咧，你就係免費可以聽歌。At a lower resolution, but to most people it doesn't matter. 你有啲要求嘅話，你就俾每個月50蚊港紙去 SaaS 佢，即係 subscription as a service。咁你就可以聽到高質素啲嘅 without 廣告。咁你俾嗰個錢呢，就會分俾或者廣告商幫你俾嘅錢，加埋就會分俾平台 ，and then 剩翻嘅就俾content creator。咁嗰個比例係咩呢？ A simple way to explain it, and you guys are YouTube guys, so you understand this very well. 90% 嘅 income 可以 top 1% of creators. More a substantial part could be half 唔知 of 呢啲 creators 啦，唔係音樂。Spotify is a music channel，即係我唔係想針對 Spotify。There are a couple of Spotifys in the world, just like there are a couple of centralized metaverses in the world, FANGs。咁咧 Spotify 係其中一個。咁a good part could be half。Could be less, could be more. 係去 podcast 嘅。And why would that be? It's 係天經地義嘅。Because podcast 啦，佢哋唔需要俾 music royalties。咁佢嘅 cost 就低好多咯。即係意思佢嘅利潤就高好多咯。So it makes sense for them to promote that more than to promote music. Right? 咁我哋唔怪得佢咁樣做啦。翻去嗰個 key problem， 90% 嘅收入 from subscriptions and advertising 係去 top 1% of creators, out of which could be less than half 係 music 嘅時候，即係意思咧就係有 10% of remaining 10% of profit 係去99%， of which could be half non-music。咁 musician 賺咩咧？99.8% of registered musicians in America 賺錢嘅收入咧係 below poverty line 嘅 from music。Only 15,000 musicians in America professional musicians 係講緊唔係歌手喎。係做音樂嘅人 ，there are a lot more musicians compared to 歌手。In terms of working musicians， compared to working 歌手。咁當99.8% 咧係 below poverty line 嘅時候咧，咁咪慘過喺茶餐廳同埋七仔打工。Because at least they're making minimum wage. The question is 呢件事咧係咪不嬲都係咁咧？我而家就係想揾到呢個答案。而家係咁好明顯。
I want to just when you're talking， 你哋覺得有冇曾經係 history in another profession？
我以為你會問我 in another dimension。
可能遲啲我哋轉頭再講 another unit metaverse。
Doctor Strange 就喺隔離啦，轉頭去問下佢。
你哋有冇 research 過？我個 question is has this ever happened before to another profession where there's like such great like this inequality to what the art form is, but the value？
即刻諗到嘅係嗰啲非洲嗰啲礦，即係掘鑽石嗰啲礦工咁，好似係。你明我意思？即係嗰啲 blood diamond 嗰啲咁樣，好似係。
嗱，
我再 back like was
no he makes a very good point. But please carry on.
Sorry， 我哋轉頭
ignore him.
Okay.
Carry on.
有冇曾經有一個 profession 曾經 it was just like the valuable, admired, respected, prestigious, profitable, and then suddenly got wiped out? I'm sure. I want to say yes.
The question is maybe it never was.
繼續。
會唔會有可能咧喺 music 咧，我哋永遠見到嗰啲 success stories 咧，就係嗰個 top 0.001%。跟住咧 the next 99，即係你 remaining 嘅99% 咧，其實係 below poverty line 嘅咧。
即係一路都係咁樣。
係啊，因為冇 statistics 去 track 佢，我哋唔知。會唔會有可能咧？嗱，佢頭先，所以我講佢頭先 Marcus 講嗰個掘礦嗰個嘢咧係合理嘅喎，即係咧 即係 total number of people involved in the production of in the diamond industry 只係 top 0.0001% 係 above poverty line 嘅咧。有冇可能？咁呢樣嘢咧，之前係永遠答唔到噶嘛，因為冇人記錄呢啲冇錯。但咁而家既然我哋咧 digitize 好多嘢，咁我哋有機會開始記錄嘅時候，我哋就可以開始 dissolve 或者 unearth 呢啲之前完全冇 statistics 嘅一啲真實咧。I think that could be the ultimate question。即係譬如啊，而家咧有好多 second and third 冇話 world 啦 ，second and third tier industries 冇話 countries。突然間見到好多好大嘅 growth，譬如音樂啊 ，creative art、digital content，純粹係音樂。因為咧，佢之前嘅 digital content 咧係 statistically 記錄唔到，突然間因為有統治嘅方法咧，佢哋可以記錄到咧，就感覺上喺 reporting 嘅層面咧，佢哋係成長緊，但係咧不嬲佢都存在，而佢哋收唔到錢。嗱。我哋成日講貧富懸殊呢個問題 ，because we are essentially living in middle class spaces 環境啊。Hong Kong 係一個好 middle to upper class 嘅環境 ，in 一個 world view 嘅講俾你睇，即係當你 compare to the African continent、the Latin American continent，其實香港係一個好 fortunate 嘅人群嚟嘅，因為咁 如果係咁嘅時候呢，我哋係咪好多因為睇唔到就覺得自己辛苦呢？而我哋係信呢，我哋只係 being little spoiled children。
I think in many ways, yes. I think so. I think so.
但係同時間喺香港長大嘅人，佢哋有時真係唔知其實其他世界係點樣嘅喎。
咁無知係咪無罪呢？
我再答翻你 personally，because 頭先 raise 咗好多好 interesting 嘅 point 上 address 啦。But one thing 我覺得我自己 personal 嘅經歷咧，就係 I personally like really remember growing up in Hong Kong in the late 80s and 90s when 好似即係可以話喺亞洲香港 is like the pinnacle of art。entertainment, music and film, and 電視 and even radio podcasts. Like Hong Kong was a leader in Asia of 好多唔同嘅藝術。咁依家係咪呢？一定唔係。Because Korea is incredible, and Korea has taken the stage to, 佢哋嗰啲 content 可以打入到美國啦。
Yes, you're right, and China is incredible too.
China is incredible, and Japan 曾經都 incredible 啦。So from 一個 personal 嘅 stage，like 經歷過當你有 and then 突然之間冇 like 嘅 contrast，我自己都感受到嘅。And in many ways that kind of it makes you look at the situation a little bit differently, like 即係答翻係咪 now with even more information 就幫你分析嗰樣嘢，啲 problems are more illustrated 咯。Maybe before you could feel it, but now with the data to tell you, it's like the picture is drawn a little bit more clear, I think. It's an interesting question.Because also another point I wanted to talk about was like 係咪我都相信你個 theory 你個 thesis，because 即係依家就算音樂唔係好賺到錢 ，but there are artists now that are like 係好賺到錢嘅喎，like I would say maybe I don't know Drake or maybe I don't know Post Malone or like those 嗰種 I think somehow 佢哋個 model for 佢哋仲係 work 嘅，但係
So maybe the world has not changed as much as we think。即係我哋以為個世界變咗好多，但係其實呢wealth distribution 依然係好差嘅。即係當年呢，即係10年前啦、20年前啦 ，the Jay-Z's、the Eminems、the Tupacs、the Biggies，in the pop 喺 pop 個領域，rock 嘅領域 ，there are a lot of leaders. You go back down to the 80s, the Cyndi Laupers, the Whitney Houstons, the Princes,
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, and Prince was not happy. Why? Is it imaginable why he would be not happy? Yes, he could have been worth. It could have been worth 10 billion, but he was worth 1 billion, so he's upset about that. But is it the same today? Actually, the things have not gotten better, and things can't be changed. All we come along. Instead of 諗緊貧富懸殊咧 which has been a buzzword for a long, long time, why don't we think about? Perhaps it's time we start thinking about UBI, Universal Basic Income. Yes, it's a socialist concept. 如果 the reason why I got into NFTs is because I believe that NFTs 可以將嗰個最低收入啊拉高少少，接近或者盡量超越貧窮線，等大家可以交到租，送到小朋友返學，同埋食到飯。If anything can allow us to do that, shouldn't we put our blood and sweat and tears 去令到呢件事發生呢？咁我見到我留意咗呢個 space 咁耐呢，我第一個覺得係可行嘅呢，就係 NFTs and maybe the blockchain, maybe not crypto. 但係 crypto 同 NFT 同埋 blockchain 係真係個關係真係拉得近到。一少 the owner the big guy in Animoca Brands， 佢係咁樣解釋嘅，即係其實咧，我哋係想要個 metaverse 可以 empower 咗，等人哋等咧喺 metaverse 做生意真係做嘢嘅人咧，唔會突然間俾 deplatform， 突然間得到 unfair treatment。啲人擺咁多心機同埋血汗去喺 metaverse 入邊即係打機啦，做到咁好嘅成績，卒之咧1毫子都得唔到。即係譬如喺嗰啲 Web2 嘅平台啊 ，Fortnite 啊、Facebook 啊、Fangs 啊等等啦，佢哋咧 should get something from their time, from their blood, sweat and tears。咁佢就覺得 decentralized finance 同埋 DAO systems， 幫到佢哋好多。decentralized finance 幫到佢哋咧，因為佢哋可以透過 NFT 咧 regain ownership of the content that they themselves create。而 DAO 就係 being a part of 呢個 community 咧，佢哋有 say。As opposed to 喺 Fangs 嘅世界入邊咧 ，you can be a part of Facebook 或者 Google， 你一句 say 都冇。咁你有 voting rights 就係有 say 啦，所以 it becomes like a democracy。咁對我嚟講咧 ，NFTs 係一個可能性，令到咧所有 digital arts 或者 assets 嘅 creator 咧，可以無論之後啲大平台點樣發生咧，你 create 嘅嘢你有 say， 同埋咧你有 ownership。等你有權去賣佢或者 hold 住佢，咁呢個係，咁呢個呢，就係我覺得可能就係跟住10年呢，我哋呢啲 forward thinking 嘅industry leaders 同埋key participants 應該投射我哋嘅資源去 develop 嘅東西咯。Make life better for the people who are not so well off。
So a couple questions I want to ask you. Make the quality of life better. Is this 即係 study 翻 history, study 翻 people in power 嘅？
你笑自
I mean
你笑你自己係咁中英咁樣轉係嘛
？No，我笑緊呢一個，我想好樂觀咁樣去
好，請繼續。
去睇呢一個新嘅發展，但係如果想即係配合翻 study 翻歷史嚟有 power 嘅人，你覺得今次呢個新嘅出現 with NFTs and digital currency and this and the blockchain 會唔會有分別呢？同以前嘅有 power 嘅 industry 呢？
冇人知。Anyone tells you they know, they're lying。但係我見到有個機會 ，opportunity comes with chaos。而家咧，如果我哋肯承受個 chaos 咧，我哋會得到一個有機會得到一個更加 equitable 嘅環境啊。因為社會已經係我哋唔係講緊喺網上咧，社會係唔睇地理噶嘛，唔關地理事嘅。所以咧，我哋唔需要講社會，我哋只要講環境或者人群組。咁咧呢班人咧係因為時間仲係好早，環境仲係好亂，我哋有機會咧升華同埋改善。即係之前咧，你當係3分好啦 ，out of 10分啦，可能咧扣過我哋一齊努力，我哋可以做到4分好，我覺得足夠㗎啦。Little improvement, because a little improvement is better than the improvement, and it could happen。嗱，2個禮拜前 Facebook announce 佢做 Meta， 好轟動。 我個人就同一蕭嘅睇法係好相似嘅。呢個只係代表咧，我哋要快啲，因為fans 咧，佢哋做咗一個好好嘅事情，就係令到咧 socially 全世界咧有一個更加方便嘅網絡去 maintain stay in touch， 或者喺唔係喺離開真實世界喺 metaverse 入邊咧有 contact。咁但係咧，我哋提供嘅所有，我哋 create 嘅所有 content 咧，其實唔係我哋 own 嘅，但係大機構 own 嘅。跟住大家又點樣處理呢個 content 咧？係睇佢哋中意嘅啫。咁當然啦，如果佢哋做得好嘅話咧，我哋就冇所謂啦。但係好明顯地，佢哋一開始嘅時候係一個open 嘅平台，但係而家咧就變成一個佢哋方便或者佢哋點樣方便佢哋賺錢嘅時候，佢哋就會幫佢哋賺錢嘅改善嘅一個平台嘅平台。咁喺咁樣嘅環境入邊咧 ，decentralize 嘅平台咧就有佢嘅優勢嘅。點解咧？因為喺個 blockchain 度咧，有4個總概念嘅。一就係 automatic， 二 immediate， 三 immutable， 即係改唔到啊！你一擺
hack， 即係 really difficult is almost impossible。
difficult to hack，
係啦。
difficult to hack。and 四就 immediate、automatic、immutable and transparent。transparent 嘅意思就係如果你想知嘅話咧，你有方法知道。即係譬如你做任何 transaction， 你喺 EtherScan 度，只要你喺 Ether 度出現嘅時候，我喺 EtherScan 就會就可以揾到你個 wallet address， 跟住我會知道你做咗啲乜嘢。And that's good in the sense that 你唔會亂嚟咯。But that's bad.
You have no privacy.
Yeah, you have no privacy. You have no privacy. 咁 it's a balance。大家要明白，如果你想要equity 嘅話咧 ，you have to give up something for equity. And most people are very selfish. They don't want to give up privacy. You have to give up some privacy to achieve some equity. And I do not know how 呢件事咧喺將來咧會 play out. But I feel that 喺blockchain 嘅世界入邊咧，有大部分嘅人咧係想 play out 呢件事嘅，放棄少少 privacy，achieve 大啲嘅 equity。所以我就會諗到，如果咧之前咧係3成嘅人俾人恰，而家可唔可以變成4成嘅人俾人恰？如果之前咧有100個音樂人，有98個俾人恰，我哋可唔可以變成90個俾人恰
？So really,
we are in the business of creating hope. Really, we are in the business of creating hope.
Also, like hearing you speak today, it appears to me that it's actually a very fundamental and philosophical debate about how much the world embraces this new technology of the blockchain, the usage, because有好多 potential, but 個 potential comes with 係一個好大嘅改變。
That's why 一蕭講，我亦都認同，就係咧 we have to hurry。我7個月前啦，已經好 actively 咁樣講 we have to hurry, we have to hurry, we have to hurry。冇人聽，因為大家驚，大家覺得可能我會跌錢。You face the same problems. I'm sure you face the same problems too。開一個 MetaMask， 你驚個 gas fee 好貴，你驚佢會跌錢。你將 fiat 變成 cryptocurrencies， 你驚嗰個 gas 好大， 但係that's just Ethereum。大家有冇諗過去instead of going to Ethereum， 不如試下第二啲 chain 先 ，go to Tezos，go to Near，go to Solana，maybe even go to Binance。It works. It makes sense. 咁，但係第一步永遠好難，因為咧恐懼咧係無限嘅。當你冇事嘅時候咧，無知 ，nothing is scarier than unknown unknowns. You see, in the world, they are not 喺個世界入邊咧 ，they are not just known unknowns and known knowns. There are also unknown knowns and unknown unknowns.
So for just to 可能即係再simplify 少少 ，Would you say 依家 for 呢一種嘅新 technology 同出邊啲人講 is like, hey, why don't 你嘗試離開你個 comfort zone and just try it first?
Yeah.
Would that be a very like 一個
Yes.
好嘅 slogan 去說服啲人咧
Yes, yes, and yes.
Just try it first. Maybe
Yes.
you have nothing. Maybe you lose a little money.
Yes,
But the
you will.
potential is exponentially bigger than what you 你少少嘅
Yes,
risk.
yes. 你去迪士尼樂園，你都知道你會跌少少錢㗎啦。嗰個地鐵費，你去入邊去食嘢，你知道你會跌嗰啲錢㗎啦。但係你唔知道你嘅小朋友咧，你啲小朋友係中意定唔中意喎？可能佢唔中意咧，可能你排唔到隊咧，可能你想佢嗰個 ride 咧，你卒之咧，你準備咗六個鐘係入去，為咗排隊去入 Space Mountain 咧，係你又嘥咗3個鐘，因為你冇買快個 fast track。
The fast track is worth it.
Always.
So okay，我想再我可唔可以將個 conversation 褪前少少 ？So for you, let's like I want to see if we can get over the hurdles 喺你個 imagination 度。What do you envision? Like what kind of possibilities do you envision for like all the like what you're doing now with your 你好多嘅 energy 擺落依家好多 digital world 嘅 projects 度。What would you really like 你最理想嘅 scenario 係會點樣 work out and how would it affect and change your life now？
或者再分開啲，唔好講到咁遠先。
我答佢先啊，你記住啊！
記住先，我講。
我希望咧有20%、10%我都開心嘅香港音樂人會開始出自己嘅 NFT。我係講緊音樂人，我唔係講緊歌手。但係咧，如果歌手唔做嘅話，音樂人都冇乜機會。所以咧，唔該10%音樂人嘅歌手，再加10%音樂人開始出自己嘅 NFT。你唔需要經過個平台，你更加唔需要經過嗰啲現任嘅大平台。以暫時嘅市場嚟計，不如你試下用 Solana 去出啦。Solana 咧有3個大平台，4個大平台，你可以試下用 Soul， 因為 Soul 咧你可以自己就咁 create 一個 NFT， 佢俾一個 landing page， 你 gas fee 好低，跟住你試下去賣俾你嘅 core fan base。你只要喺你個 core fan base 入邊揾到幾個咧係有 Phantom Wallet、Solid Wallet 或者 Soulflare Wallet 嘅人肯買你嘅original work at 一個 premium， 即係 maybe 1000港幣、1萬港幣，咁咧你就係一個好好嘅開始啦。Don't trust Ethereum， 因為 Ethereum 嘅 gas fees 好高，咁你每一次入門咧，你點都要跌$300美金嘅。Don't do that， 因為我知道你哋驚乜嘢，我經歷咗成8、9個月之後咧 ，I know what you're afraid of。Try Solana， 開 Phantom Wallet，go on Soul，mint something，find your target
Harry， 你
base。
mark 低晒係嘛？Okay。
係啦。
So if I apply what you're saying for me, like say I have a new song， 即係咪個 workout 嘅 scenario 係 choose not to distribute on the traditional platforms？
Yes，start with Solana， because Solana is liquidity is very important。你 Ethereum 嘅市場好大，但係你門檻好高。你每一次 launch 一個 NFT， 擺一個 NFT 上去賣嘅時候咧，你卒之都要使3萬蚊美金嘅時候咧，then you have to sell higher than 3萬美金 for it to make sense to you。
即係你嘅 initial cost 好大。
係啊，所以你嘅
會驚
price 好高。
係。
咁即係意思 it's 你令到你嘅 buyer 咧更加辛苦。
Yeah.
So try Solana.
Okay.
Solana 嘅 marketplace
Is a little bit
係 is
friendlier.
大，冇 Ethereum 咁大，但係冇Binance 咁 fickle，即係咁挑剔。咁咧喺 Solana 你開咗個 gas 好平，你講緊幾十蚊美金。I think most people can afford 幾十蚊美金，因為你出街茶餐廳食一餐都係10蚊美金㗎啦。係啦，咁 do it on Solana。跟住你又會有個 landing page， 跟住佢用個 landing page 去 sell to 你啲 fans， 睇下邊個會夠膽死開一個 Phantom Wallet，跟住經過佢 Phantom Wallet 去買你呢個好矜貴嘅 special music piece 或者 special art piece，或者一個獨特嘅啤酒，或者一個獨特嘅杯，或者 vase， 係啦 anything。咁You sell it there， 你就慢慢儲你嘅patron base， 就好似摩扎德
I totally like from what I'm hearing today, I totally buy it because 即係 as 一個 independent music producer for the past 即係幾年啦。Like the struggle to release songs and see the return you kind of expect is 我真係 like what we were saying earlier, it's like dead. It's like why
你都係
do it that
冇
way?
錯，你都係出歌等剪彩啊嘛。Because 出歌嗰陣時你都係諗住打個和啊嘛，你係剪彩嗰陣時先賺到少少錢啊嘛。
出歌等剪彩呢句嘢真係好精警啊！
I'm so sorry。嗱頭先啦，你有一個問題，我哋忽略咗呢個問題咁耐。Please
個
ask。
問題只不過你頭先你講嗰樣，我想知你喺一息短啲嘅時間1年 ，what will you do to push this thing？
I will have a platform。我唔知我個 platform 會成功定係失敗，因為我唔知會唔會有足夠嘅人夠膽死陪我一齊玩呢件事。我呢件事好簡單，就係咧想做音樂嘅歌手同埋想出歌嘅想賺錢嘅音樂人，加埋想出歌嘅歌手。呢啲歌手咧唔單止係我哋而家見到簽最弱嘅歌手，係包括晒咧嗰啲未出歌嘅嬰兒。小學生童星啦，中學生即係 KOL即係 K-pop wannabe 啊，咁大啲嘅人全民唱 K 嗰班啦。Anyone can be a 歌手 right now， you just don't see it yet。And 我想經過咧一個平台，而其實如果任何人可以快過我出呢個平台，我係會好開心嘅。I just want to create equity。I don't see any way 我可以賺到錢，因為我唔識得發達。After 20 over years in the industry， 我都未發達嘅時候 ，I do not know how to 發達。But maybe just maybe 我識得令到大家唔使咁窮，令到大家交到租，送到小朋友返學，食到飯。Maybe that's my purpose in the world。
好，轉頭翻嚟繼續傾。其實，但係你做緊嘅呢件事咧，其實係對於嗰啲既得利益者，即係環球啊、環亞大公司啊，係根本上打對台嘅喎，其實有少少。
But those 嗰啲 format 已經 outdate 咗咯。佢哋都知，我覺得佢哋都知。
Now before we go down this road of no return， 我想咧，我需要 make it clear，we're not here to 同佢哋打交。佢哋咧嘅價值咧依然係存在嘅，無論咧 decentralized discovery 去到咩地步都好啦，你只可以將一個歌手咧由零去到中，要中去到大咧，你無論如何都需要 IRL， 因為你無論如何都要買海報， 你無論如何都要 SEO，你無論如何都要 seed 個歌手上去啲大 IP， 上去啲大節目。你無論如何咧都要傾到大廣告，你無論如何咧都要需要 connections 咧去搏咧啲 regional 嘅 opportunities。呢啲嘢咧係大家覺得 viral 係會發生，但係 viral 係萬中無一。所以呢大公司嘅存在咧依然係有價值嘅。What I'm proposing is 大公司你唔需要咁辛苦啦。我哋咧以 decentralize 嘅方法咧，可以等你咧唔需要等10年嚟揾到下一個 Justin Bieber 同埋 Celine 妹妹，每一年可以一個，甚至一年可以10個。
唔係，佢哋會自動出現，而呢件事係好 transparent， 所有人都知。
What I want to help create with all of you and 銀幕上後邊睇緊嘅所有人咧，就係、呢個 10x 或者 100x 嘅 discovery rate 同埋income rate，令到咧啲大公司咧可以大方啲，去幫下一代有機會變成鄭秀文，變成劉德華，變成我大眼鏡嗰個叫咩名？對，嗰個大眼鏡。盧廣仲 ，yeah， because I don't want to say 全部都係，我唔想講全部都係靚仔靚女，係啦，因為唔靚仔唔靚女都有機會嘅。This is a 新嘅時代
Yeah,
，you have to believe it. No, Ed Sheeran is actually quite handsome.
Really? Okay. No, I would debate you on that.
咁咧，and Ed Sheeran 嘅酒量好好 ，you don't have to 酒量好好，你都可以好紅。I do not want to I don't want to make that as a 先入為主嘅 prerequisite。咁咧意思就係 we are working hand in hand。大公司就 focus 做佢哋做嘅嘢。They don't have to bother about scouting anymore. Let us, the decentralized community, 去 scout at 100x of what they were doing before。等我哋揾出 the next 100。Taylor Swift's next 100謝霆鋒、容祖兒，等佢哋咧可以 from there take them to the next level。They can make their money and they can benefit 呢啲有 talent 嘅人，but we will create the environment 去等呢啲人咧可以多啲機會 go to market。The point is all about going to market， 因為咧以過去30-40年嘅制度咧。冇乜人有機會 go to market。你要 go to market 咧，你真係要靠 viral 紅。Who is that lucky to 喺你出咧頭50個 YouTube 咧，有一個係去到100萬 views 咧 ？Who is that lucky? Really, not that many. Slap that like。有幾多個人咧可以靠呢一句咧可以去到9 million viewers 咧？除咗 Davy 之外。So what we're trying to say is，經過 decentralize， 無論你係用 Ethereum、Solana、Binance、Tezos、Near、Phantom、Avex、Luna、Elrond，this is just the beginning。Polkadot，我都未 up 到10個。Within the next 2 years，你會見到咧，起碼20個 chains 會有 marketplace。等唔同嘅人咧可以有出位嘅機會，由0去到中。And that's what I want to build. And if God willing, Alex, Marcus 同埋身邊嘅所有朋友 Henry 都會一齊去 build 呢紮 communities， 呢紮小王國，等咧下一代嘅鄭秀文，下一代嘅劉德華。唔需要等10年一個，真係1年10個，令到我哋嘅娛樂世界，令到我哋嘅網絡世界，令到我哋嘅影業世界，令到我哋嘅遊戲世界，同埋我哋嘅軟件世界。What is the next app? What is the next aggregator? 可以咧得到更好嘅發展。個 goal 咧係永遠等多啲人可以交到租、養到家、食到飯。And that's all we want. Make the world a little bit better.
Agree?
Yeah. And that's why I started Nafidi。Nafidi 係一個 NFT 嘅平台，可以令到多啲 Gen Z、Covid Gen 同埋其實佢哋 IP 根本就係好好，但係佢就揾唔到足夠嘅 funding， 等佢可以 go to market。go to market 咧唔係一次過㗎，因為你諗下啦，如果咧我 go to market 嗰陣時係夏天，而我買嗰個 product 根本就係冬天嘅 product 嘅話，咁我梗係冬天出先會中㗎嘛。而冬天出嘅時候咧，有時候咧你撞正咧10個其他 product 一齊出嘅時候，你咪冇機會咯。所以你喺冬天你都要出到個4-5次，你先有機會咧食到你嘅 market 噶嘛。所以 that's what Nafidi is about。即係我起緊呢個新嘅平台，就係令到咧多啲 startups 或者 creators 出新 project 嘅時候咧，可以揾到佢嘅 target market，令到佢可以有更加 equitable 嘅一條路，可以由零去到中或者中下。And after that 就要靠大公司invest 佢哋，等佢哋可以由中或者中下去到中上。And if God willing 去到 unicorn，令到香港好啲，令到亞洲好啲，令到人類好啲。
Interesting。
消化緊。你呢個 platform 已經係去到咩境況咧？
而家咧 platform 咧係喺 initial decentralized offering 嘅階段，即係咧已經過咗 C round， 跟住去緊Series A、B round 同埋conclude 緊 Series A、B round， 去緊 public round 嘅 funding 噶啦。咁咧當呢個 round 一完結咗之後咧，就會有一個 international audience。呢個 international audience 咧就會支撐同埋宣揚呢個calling， 等多啲人咧會入嚟支持咧呢啲Gen Z、Gen Covid 同埋真係其實好好，但係未揾到佢哋嘅 core community 嘅好嘅 projects。And these projects could be games， 即係好似 Axie Infinity 咁樣咧，可以 empower 到成個菲律賓嘅某啲區域嘅窮人，因為 Covid 賺唔到錢養唔到家，賺到錢養到家。甚至或者喺其他國域，而家因為 Covid suffer 緊嘅平人嘅 projects 咧，或者人群可以由貧窮線以下去到啱到 UBI Universal Basic Income， 養到家，送到啲細女返屋企，交到租。That's it. That's all I'm asking for。因為陳奐仁係唔識得發達嘅人，所以咧 do not ask me how to 發達。But I do know a thing or two about the importance of 令到小朋友有嘢食同埋返到學咯。
So I'm just trying to wrap my head around in the sense of like how I in my world。咁係咪你咁樣講 I kind of see it changes the whole format of entertainment in many ways, in the sense that before like 可能我哋 grow up 嘅時候okay, let's talk about like movies. Like for example, when I was young, all the Leonardo DiCaprio movies were like Titanic 係好 popular 嘅。And then 佢變咗一種嘅 bankable 嘅 property，artist property。Of course he manages himself very well， 佢會好 manage 自己。
因為特登攞啲枕頭嚟遮住你呢個肢體啊！
係咪？我挨住，我想望住你。
請繼續，對唔住。
So 再斯文啲。
No, totally fine。
But so 我個 point 係即係我哋以
You
前
don't know what I'm seeing。
以前嘅 entertainment 嘅 format 就係你會可能好多一間大公司會 back up behind 一個劉德華 ，back up behind 一個鄭秀文，因為佢係一個 major player，佢係有 longevity 可以 play 好耐。咁also 睇佢點樣去發展，佢可以 keep 住 bankable。But 如果我聽你個 format，咁變咗如果好多機會喺下邊俾好多新嘅人或唔同嘅 talent 彈上去。That kind of does that in a way eradicate like the major players and everybody is like 即係你每年有好多好 viral 嘅片個歌手或者maybe later video 嘅電影and 演員。Does that kind of like change the whole dynamic of how things would flow?
Probably not. But it makes 佢令到咧大公司咧永遠咧係好 short-sighted 嘅。當咧你有好多錢同埋你有好多資源嘅時候，你只會想做大片，跟住每一套片咧係賺，即係會令到好多人發達嘅。
Well, they choose those people because they're bankable. Like for example, if you get Leonardo DiCaprio, you know he's bankable.
但係你要俾好多錢啊嘛，咁你首先要有嗰嚿錢啊嘛。
但係佢係賺到，佢係 proven formula 賺到翻嗰嚿錢喎。I'm just theoretically 即係喺度拗緊，即係如果係每年有好多新嘅人 how would this fit in？
你咪有大片有大片做法 ，Leo 有 Leo 賺法。細片有細片賺法，細片有細片嘅 business model 咯。The problem with 今時今日就係大片有大片賺法，小片全部死晒，冇戲。因為而家咧大片咧係由大戲院去翻大 Netflix，咁細片咧除非你得到 Netflix 嘅認可咧，你係冇機會。So we're creating a situation whereby細片咧都有細片嘅機會去到中或者中下，等咧 Netflix 同埋大片大公司咧會覺得佢都想多啲 option 噶嘛。We're giving them more options and at the same time, which is my main goal， 就係令到咧大家發緊夢同埋投資佢 whole life 嘅心血落去嘅人。Musicians, creators, movie people, game makers, software creators， 佢投咗落去咧，佢哋唔需要咁大風險啊。That makes the world a better place。之前咧就係、你只可以由零到中，由零到 top。如果咧我由零去唔到 top 咧，我死，跟住我就去我要去 7啦。而家咧。With this new method 咧 ，decentralized method 咧，我只需要零去中，我就可以賺到錢啦，我就可以 keep 住做呢件事啦。Because there is a market to support me。
I understand the concept, but does Hong Kong need to 即係同時間 develop 呢一個 system? Do they also need to develop the community and the market to provide the money? 即係譬如 ，OK, if we talk music.
No, they don't need to.
But how does that work? How would that?
The patron provides the money. 嗱，點解啲人成日話 cut out the middleman？ 個原因呢係因為 in a decentralized 喺一個非統治，喺一個big blockchain 嘅世界入邊。你唔需要中間嗰個人，你可以直接 P2P 就可以做到交易噶嘛。Because Web 1 and Web 2咧，雖然佢係 Internet information， 我可以資訊咧係咁分享，但係 value 冇得分享。意思就係、我以前咧，我發 email 嘅時候咧，我寫咗 email， 我 send 俾 Marcus，send 俾 Marcus 收到 email 嘅時候咧。我嗰隻 email 咧仲係我嗰度嘅喎，所以 cannot represent value。但係喺 Web3 嘅世界咧，我有一粒 Bitcoin 啦，我 send 俾 Marcus， 我 send 咗之後咧，我嗰粒 Bitcoin 就唔存在咯，咁先至可以代表咗 value 啊嘛
went somewhere else.
Yes, the value went somewhere else. So the transfer of value.
我明呢個 point.
So that means that 當我可以直接咧，當我只係100個 fans，但係我呢100個 fans 咧係好 buy 我嘅，我可以咧賣出100個產品，咁每一季我都賣到100個產品嘅時候咧，我就可以養到我屋企、我老婆、我仔女同埋我老豆、我老母，咁我就可以 keep 住做咯。And 我 keep 住做咧，我個 product 就會越做越好咯。如果咧我冇得 keep 住做嘅，我 product 咧我只係去搏一鋪嘅咋，一鋪清場，買唔到咧我就要翻去做 seven 噶啦。咁我進步嘅機會有幾大？我需要嘅運氣有幾高？好高。我進步嘅機會0。But 如果咧我又可以揾到有個 NFT 啊，5個 patrons， 每個月佢只需要每一個 patron 俾我5000蚊或者1000蚊，我就可以喺香港住太貴，我喺 somewhere where 一個月5000蚊我可以養到家嘅，咁我就可以 keep 住出 product，keep 住進步，直到有一日咧，我嘅5個 patron 可以變成100個 patron， 跟住100個 patron 咧可以令到我個 product 咧可以做到係 industry standard 嘅，等啲大佬啲 industry 嘅大佬睇到，咁佢就多啲 option 㗎，佢唔需要鑊咧都請葉念琛嚟做電影，佢有10個葉念琛可以揀。That is good for everyone else and also good for 葉念琛 because it gives 葉念琛個動機，冇錯，等葉念琛變成更加好嘅葉念琛。而家葉念琛 doesn't need to improve，
因為太容易啦。
because it's too easy。But that means that 葉念琛咧 will get better， he'll become better 葉念琛。And then 佢會帶領住9個 next 葉念琛。
即係我嘗試去解釋下，即係等於我譬如我種菜嘅，平時我種咗棵菜之後呢，我點樣去賺嗰個錢？就係我嚟自嗰個分銷商攞咗我個菜貨，跟住經過菜販，經過超級市場，再去到我度食飯，再去煮完再俾你食。即係可能你 end up 係俾60蚊，但係中間其實每個人都抽少少。OK， 咁所以其實我種菜其實我 end up 賺到2蚊嘅啫，但係嗰個嘢係 end up 變咗60蚊嘅。咁而家佢就 cut 咗成件事啦。就係我種完呢個2蚊個菜，我當唔使60蚊賣俾你，我30蚊賣俾你。其實我中間嗰28蚊我賺晒喎，即係 cut 晒中間嗰陣人咯。而即係 basically 佢係呢件事係佢去 encourage 係咩？你做 creator 咯，你去做一啲嘢出嚟，而 instead of being agent 咯。
個 concept 我中意嘅，but 我 wrestling with 咧就係 how。When, for example, 即係我哋我想再 specific breakdown， 因為 like for example in Hong Kong, for example, let's talk about like okay, let's talk about me. Let's talk about like I want to be an aspiring like musician. 我點樣先至成為可以製造到或者吸引到一班人去 grow 去support 我嘅 musical composition 咧 when it's already very difficult in the format that is now. So like my question is like 即係如果可以幫到其他音樂人去了解呢件事 is like in theory everything is sound and it works, but I want to know how does it apply to Hong Kong and how can it really work and create that community in the crowd to support you and then grow. Because right now, even with all the middlemen, the problem is they don't value the music to buy it in the first place. And it's very difficult. Does that mean like 即係要 through 一種嘅 VIP community 你可以 offer 到啲special 嘅 event 俾啲人去慢慢聽你啲新歌咧，or new music 咧，
即係譬如我想聽你隻歌啦，咁佢本身講 streaming 嗰件事就係我就聽到㗎，因為 it's already on the platform。而家佢就係改變呢件事，就係話你唔去經我 directly 買呢件事，你就冇得聽我隻歌，聽唔到，冇得聽。
Yeah, I understand the
你明我
concept, but no one's gonna.
誒
OK，
唔係
我
點
淨係 on the
點樣講
platform。
我會形容 binge 同麥當勞嘅分別就係點樣？即係 we are not a chain，會有小店，我哋得一間鋪，咁我哋開咗個鋪，咁啊我有啲 neighbour 人會經過嚟飲杯嘢，咁你慢慢咪可以 build 你自己嘅 reputation 啊，build 自己嗰個客路啊，你點樣令到自己同其他同麥當勞嘅分別係咩啫？就係因為我哋可能係有心啲啊，有啲嘢你喺呢度之外得唔到嘅，淨係得呢度先食到呢個 vibe。Instead of compared to 麥當勞即意思即係 chain 啦，佢好 standardize 嘅，所有嘢都 standardize，周圍都係。但係點解你會揀嚟我哋嗰度 instead 去麥當勞？因為我俾到嘅嘢你係你喺麥當勞度攞唔到喎。你明我意思？
I understand the
一模
the
一樣
charm
咯
of
即係
this。
你出嗰隻歌，即係你唱嗰隻 beef 先有嗰個 feel 嘅。咁我咪想聽，我咪俾嗰個錢你。而呢件事冇其他人賺到喎，係你袋晒嘅，係咁樣咯，係咪？
I understand the concept of this, but I'm on the practical side. How are you going to execute that to create 一個 continuous growth？ 我當我有兩首係受歡迎啲嘅，but 你第三首歌突然之間又冇人中意，你都要 cater to 一種嘅大市場嘅喜歡嘅 trend。When you are indie and say 你係咁 keep 住 indie，it's 好難 grow 到呢樣嘢。我就係想了解多啲點樣你可以即係 correlate 翻同呢個 system and grow your brand to be bigger and bigger and more physically。你係有咩好實在嘅目標？我當以前一個歌手嘅 journey 喺香港其實都好簡單嘅，出一個 EP 5首歌，幾首歌啲人中意，有幾個 MV 可能好多 like， 跟住第二次就出一個大碟 ，and then 可能你以前可以 plug 一首電影嘅歌，and 越嚟越多人中意 ，and then 慢慢你個 trajectory 喺香港咧就你慢慢首先玩麥花臣、會展、九展、紅館 ，maybe 以前好勁嗰啲可以世界走埠。But what is the model now? And what through digital platforms now? What is the mode? Because 首先我哋依家冇 live 地方可以玩音樂，同埋有啲好成功嘅 genre 嘅 music happening now in Hong Kong，例如 hip hop 都幾好嘅依家，and 都有啲歌手即係啲 singer-songwriter 歌手都係算係幾紅咁樣。But those are some rare cases now. But for the new and upcoming ones, like, is it that same model now in Hong Kong? And does the model apply? Like, if呢個 model work 係咪係可以 reach 到全世界呢？即係如果依家喺香港一個新嘅10幾歲嘅歌手，佢個 mindset 依家係咪要創造音樂 for 全世界呢？咁係咪要創造英文歌呢？即係我係有好多呢啲嘢，我想如果畫緊嘅話，依家係有幾個 sketch， 我想再 understand 多啲咯。
香港你點解會有呢個情懷呢？係好 understandable 嘅，因為香港係東方之珠啊，80、90，直至2000前啦。香港係 pop culture 之都市嚟嘅 ，of the entire Asia。Do you know what a big deal that is? Do you even understand the power？ 香港咧係唔多過700萬人。It's basically the size of Singapore in a geography that is like 10 times the size of Singapore。咁it's a very exciting place, but it's also a very small place。可以文化嘅層面咧統治成個亞洲 ，which is oh my god the biggest populous continent in the world。It's over。所以我哋唔應該再咁樣諗啊！再咁樣諗係話緊乜啊？任性嚟嘅，即係 the miracle has ended。And 香港咧 should instead 我覺得find a way to capitalize on 我哋嘅 the richness of 我哋嘅 cultural history 去 create a new renaissance. But not instead of trying to recapitalize 我哋曾經嘅嗰個history， 即係咧 it's to think of it that way is kind of is think of 成吉思汗或者 Napoleon 或者 Alexander the Great， 我曾經係 the empire of 咁大一塊地，我點樣再攞翻呢塊地 ？That's not very nice, is it？ 係天時地利人和啊嘛。We have done our part in history as 香港 to 即係spread pop culture to 咁大一個地域 ，and that job has been done. But now that we have good history and 我哋係入緊一個 Web3嘅領域咧 ，how can we lead 我哋嘅 region into 一個好啲嘅將來咯？Maybe that's what we should be thinking about 香港 ，instead of thinking 我哋點樣再統治翻 and take back what is ours, but it was never ours. It was just 我哋 lead 緊呢個呢個新嘅commercial pop movement 啊嘛。And now we have because 我哋有呢個cultural history， 我哋有 cultural know-how， then it kind of rests upon our shoulders to lead 呢個 cultural revolution 咯。就好似 Animoca Brands in 香港 lead 緊呢個 Web3 revolution for games。We can do the same for music. We can do the same for movies. We can do the same for software. And we can do the same for games. Because that is what Web3 is about, the metaverse.
Okay.
咁 before Facebook, which is now called Meta, 入嚟統治全世界 let's do something about it. And as industry leaders， 我覺得我有呢個責任咧，去 push 呢件事 forward。係之前咧喺繁榮嘅時候，我冇領域帶領大家去發達，但係而家咧，我有能力帶領大家去救造。If you're with me, then come。我覺得大家值得交到租，值得供到小朋友返學。值得買到叉燒飯。That's what I think, and that's what this is about.
I understand. That's an interesting way to contextualize the situation. 即係將所有以前依靠嘅習慣同埋模式，即係 throw it out the window.
忘記佢啦。
Let's try something new.
過咗啦。It's got to do with隨緣。It's got to do with being in the present and forgetting the past and not be too obsessed about the future. So in that way， 我哋咁樣去諗咧係好 make sense 㗎，因為我哋唔係好，我哋係抱住一個唔貪心，但係好 ambitious 嘅，好大嘅動力，大我嘅心態去向前衝咯。We're no longer thinking about 我點樣發達，我點樣幫我老豆籌一嚿好大嘅退休金，我點樣去做 Chinese legacy。No， 我哋係諗緊，無論你係邊個，無論你住喺邊度，大家都值得食到飯、瞓到覺、屙到屎。
Oh, okay, I understand. I'd also, so I want to ask you guys personally because I think it's a really interesting concept. In your life before, have you ever, 你哋有冇遇過咁樣嘅轉折位係當你 everything you learned before in your life or believed to be true， 突然之間要放低一陣去進入一個新嘅階段咧 ？Have you ever had an experience like that? And then 你遇到呢個 experience， 你點樣去 handle 佢 ？And then what did you learn about it？
我而家咪咯。
你有冇？
即係 I've been working as architect for 8 years， 即係 喺間公司度做好簡單嘅，即係翻工放工老細俾咩你做就去啦。
9 to 5，
係啦，9 to 5，好有得放工嘅，放工咪自己玩咯，好開心嘅。咁我點解想會走出嚟自己做一啲自己嘅 business 嘅原因係，因為我覺得好 replaceable， 即係只要你係一個都係做咗8年嘅人，你過嚟呢間公司坐我個位做呢個 project，個 project 係唔會變嘅，個 project 係唔會變嘅，即係一定係一樣嘅件事。咁我又覺得咁我咁 replaceable 嘅，點我做咩要喺度用我嘅時間去換一個錢？當然呢個係打工，好多人都係打緊工嘅，即係要養屋企好多包袱。咁當我有呢個 luxury 就係我可能都養屋企，但係可能 limited 地即係 handle 到啦已經。咁我有一個咁嘅時間，有個咁嘅心機，我不如去 build 一啲自己嘅嘢。未必一定成功嘅，都要 take 個 risk 嘅啫，都係 high risk high return 啦，希望係。咁咪試下自己 build 咯，係啊！你而家唔 build 等幾時啫？係咪先？你未必再有機會嘅喎，再大啲結婚生仔，可能到時你個 burden 太大，你個包袱太大，你真係唔會行出嚟做呢件事嘅喎。咁而頭先佢個 build 嗰個嘢就係唔使諗添喎，一開始你已經可以自己做一啲自己嘅嘢。佢其實一個平台或又好，一個方法又好，一個 format 又好。而家就我等於其實我講咗，其實呢個 show 都係咁噶。以前要做一個咁嘅 talk show，一定係電視台先做到啦。點會無啦啦可以自己幾個喺屋企攞個 K 拍完之後，自己剪完搞下啲音就可以擺上去，有人睇到喎？呢個已經係㗎啦，我覺得。
你咧？你有冇？哦，yeah. I mean， 我都想。I want to break it down and because and try to make it more personal. I feel. 我都喺我個 life 遇到好多次有呢啲咁樣嘅180度嘅 change 啦。
Sorry， 你自己點睇啊？
我點睇咩啊？哦，佢個分享。Yeah. I mean, I'm very happy for Marcus's change. I've seen 我即係陪住佢呢個，即係佢未做緊，佢依家做緊嘢，佢之前做緊嗰份工都識咗一段，都好多年㗎啦。But I understand嗰種 personal 嘅滿足感。But in many ways now, I don't know. I always like to go back and forth and argue because I feel it's very interesting. Because now as I'm older, 我依家開始 appreciate 翻嗰種 I understand the importance of being on salary means. Especially after 有段時間經歷過一個 life as 一個 artist 咧。我有陣時會即係去 examine 好多嘅 situation， 會諗翻起係what if I was like a doctor or something? Like for example, my family before my dad, they were all doctors. Like 我嘅爺、我太爺、我嘅爺嘅 brother, and they were all doctors. I was like, it's like a choice of it's like a fundamental choice of life.Like how you want to structure your life to fulfill what is most important. Like if what's most important is maybe you want to provide a house for your family and have income for your kids. 我去到一個階段，依家會 appreciate 到 understand 到個 logistic 嗰邊嘅。When I was young and even still now, in my blood, in my heart, I'm still like a very even now today I still really believe in that's why we're still doing the show, that's why I'm still doing music. But 我依家去到一個位咧，就會即係如果用音樂嚟講， I understand why music companies work the way they work, but before I didn't understand.
慢慢嚟啊！慢慢嚟啊！
咁個問題係咪我哋依家大家都係掙扎緊，就係可唔可以將 responsibility 嗰啲嘢，但配合翻我哋中意嘅 lifestyle 咧？Is that possible?
No. No, you have to work extra hard to make it possible。當你去癲嘅時候，嗱人生呢，你當係有兩個 mode， 一就係 risk on， 一就係 risk off。因為呢，所有 stock traders 咧都有 risk on 同埋 risk off。risk off 嘅時候就係佢見到佢覺得就係紅噶啦。risk on 嘅時候係覺得係牛緊。咁呢，當我哋呢做 creative 嘅人呢 architect 都包括在內。只要你係 take 緊 risk 嘅時候，你就 risk on， 因為你 bullish 啊嘛，你覺得 it will get better。But when you see it's bearish, do you still risk on? You don't, right? 所有你一有 liability， 你越多 liabilities 咧，你就越 bearish， 你就唔可以 risk on 噶啦。你就唔可以咧好大膽去咁樣去買 GameStop 啊，去買Hertz 啊，你更加唔可以買嗰啲EXRD 啊，更加唔可以買 Doge 啊 ，because these are 佢冇 fundamentals 㗎 ，it's just a concept。咁 music、art、new ideas。They're all the same， 因為你冇 precedence， 就好同法律一樣。法律係建立於有 precedence， 即係之前有人殺過人，你先可以話殺人係唔好嘅，我會判你死嘅。但係如果之前冇人殺人嘅時候咧，呢個罪咧唔可以叫一個罪嘅，即係判唔到嘅時候咧，你就肯定係做緊 risk on 嘅動作。當你有小朋友，當你有屋企人，或者甚至當你爸爸媽媽老咗，你覺得你需要照顧佢嘅時候，你就係 risk off 噶啦。You cannot be doing risk on things。and 永遠呢 art 係一個 risk on 嘅東西 ，because it totally relies on 人哋覺唔覺得你有價值。What does that mean？ 選美比賽。
subjective 係
好多人覺得你靚，你就會有價值。大部分好少人覺得你靚，你係好低價值。你搏唔搏得過 ？Obviously this is a risk on move。咁當你咧有 liabilities 嘅時候咧 ，you need to do risk off activities。所以我覺得咧 art 永遠係有存在價值嘅，因為咧你好傷心嘅時候，你好攰嘅時候，你都要聽音樂；你好唔開心嘅時候咧，你都要睇一場戲。無論嗰套戲係一個 B 片、恐怖片，定係一個好貴嘅荷里活片，你都要睇下嘅。依然佢嘅存在係喺度嘅，但係咧，如果咧你係永遠係靠 centralized 大公司嘅時候咧，佢自己會拍 big blockbuster。因為佢蝕錢嘅機會少啲。咁如果咧，所以透過 decentralize 嘅方法咧，即係譬如 blockchain 或者 NFT 嘅方法咧，就可以多啲發夢嘅人咧，可以喺一個 risk off 或者 risk neutral 嘅情況之下咧，繼續去搏，等佢哋嘅小朋友同埋佢嘅老婆仔唔需要受苦。等咧成個世界咧可以均勻啲 ，and 等 in this way practically make the world a better place instead of 咧覺得一定要繁榮先係 a better place。其實講真，以前咧香港係東方之珠嗰個年期咧，係咪人人都賺到錢咧？係咪人人都買到樓？並不是，只係 top 嘅吉他手、top 嘅鼓手、top 嘅監製、top 嘅音樂人先可以買到樓。二等、三線嘅音樂人依然係買唔到樓。跟住呢，去到2000年嗰陣時呢 CD 萎縮，演唱會越嚟越少 ，budget 咁低嘅時候，佢哋咧就係第一個要轉行嘅人。打 7 賣保險就係佢哋。We just don't know, we just hear these stories， 我哋聽唔到嘅啫。 But from 因為我係一個音樂監製咧，I hear these stories all the time，and that is why for the past 5年咧，我一路留意住用咩方法可以幫到手。Obviously charity concert 唔 work， 寫 petition 唔 work， 開皇后大道中行街唔 work， 佢只係整到好大一個 noise， 跟住咧1個月至1個禮拜後咧變翻原形，甚至更差。It's not getting better. That's why I love NFTs， 因為呢個係我第一次聽到嘅有可能性嘅希望。But we don't know. But it's good enough for me.
To give it a shot.
Give it a good shot.
Give it a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can. I'm totally, invested. I'm totally invested. Yeah.
咁樣收到咩？
收到。
OK
嘅。
SM 57喎，
It's okay.
你肯定？
It's okay.
哦，你會推大佢啊
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
A little bit. Yeah. No. I like that. It's a lot of. No, I really appreciate you sharing today because in many ways it's a lot of personal fears and doubts and things that also factor into how we view this new future. Yeah.
我分享多一個故事啊！我識得呢一個 A 級嘅唱片監製，同埋 A 級嘅藝人，而家要轉行嚟 supplement 佢嘅 income。A 級，即係當年係台灣佬中意話呼風喚雨、呼風喚雨嘅。
呼風喚雨。
呼風喚雨嘅人物。And this is no less than 10 years later. They have to 轉行嚟 supplement income.
There was a story I wanted to share earlier about I just occurred to me, but
嗱，你諗下啦，如果林德順呢係冇得拍戲剪彩，佢有冇得繼續做音樂？你就答到嗰個問題啦。
doing music.
I love music, you love music, we want to keep doing music. 如果我哋冇得拍戲同埋剪彩 ，can we carry on？
又係咋？
就係唔可以剪彩，唔可以拍戲，唔可以拍 YUU， 你又做唔做音樂？嗱呢個好盡，因為呢個我知道一定好好賺，冇可能唔係。
Yo. I remember when I was 20-something living in LA， 啱啱畢業喺度第一次出嚟做嘢，即係第一次喺度交緊租嘅時候，好少收入。And the only thing that provided me like fulfillment in life was writing songs at night. 唔係同埋以前喺 LA 咪就去K Town 有啲食雪糕嗰啲地方咧，食雪糕
咩我都記得咗。
Frozen yogurt
嗰個
Cold
yogurt
Stone。
No.
Pink
Berry.
Yes.
Wow, it was a big deal. Like 你每次去嗰度幾開心嘅。
你都係 LA 咁樣嗰陣時，即係你有時。
Next.
But like at my core, like 即係 DNA like 改變唔到 rewrite 唔到 is like
你係 by Little Pony， 唔係個繼續
Little Train, Thomas the Train. No, yeah, but I mean like I still believe in art and music.
And Pinkberry.
And Pinkberry for sure. Pinkberry for sure.
Okay. 係啊，咁跟住咧。
Like 即係我永遠都樂觀嘅，就算依家音樂喺呢個 digital world 係會遇到好多挑戰。What I still believe fundamentally is if you have a good song that you wrote genuinely from your heart expressing a real story, that value will transcend time. It will be lost temporarily in the mass of 依家所有全世界出緊歌， but 你有一個好嘅嘢，一個作品 somehow 我好相信咧呢一種嘅力量咧係會留喺度嘅 ，even through 依家你出冇人知 So that's why at the end of the day I would still believe in music.
I think you believe in luck.
Luck.
Yeah. The story you're telling reminds me of a movie called Nightmare Before Christmas. Nightmare Before Christmas 咧係 Tim Burton 嘅一個傑作，但係佢 launch 嗰陣時咧俾咧係 flop 嘅。但係之後咧佢嘅 cult following 咧 outside of 佢嘅 core market，譬如日本咧。
Shawshank Redemption was the same.
咁咧，咁你明我講嗰個故事啦，就係咧 Tim Burton didn't make money。Disney did。即係咧分分鐘咧林德順一隻咧，即係而家嘅歌咧5年前 hit 咧，林德順賺唔到錢啊。The NFT movement that I am advocating right now 係林德順而家做一隻歌，5年後 hit 啦，林德順幾多錢啊
That's where we end, man. That is why it'll work.
I hope so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, Hanjin.
you.
Great to talk to you today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Next time, drunk buying.
Drunk buying.
唔好講咁多嘢，一嚟飲醉買嘢。
你唔好講咁多，懟10個 shot 先。
懟10個 shot。
跟住買一架古董單車。
Thank you, dude. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Good talk. Good talk.
Thank you so much.
It's heavier than I thought.
It
got
I
so
would
heavy.
say this is probably the heaviest of history.
係咩？你哋之前50幾集冇咁 heavy 過嘅咩？
唔係。以前啲 happy 可能係好個人嘅，而家個 happy 係講緊大環境嘅，係好大嘅個地方，唔係淨係一個人自己咯。
嗰陣時 happy 係點啊？即係其實咧呢個係唔係我嘅夢想，係我老豆嘅夢想嚟嘅，係咪咁意思？嗰啲 happy 啊？
我話講到我頭髮都已經。
而家仲有 thumbnail 呢件事嘅咩？
Yeah. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you.